Your Excellency Jeanette Inglovu, you are welcome to TV African Business News. Actually, we are here to look at the trade relations between Ghana and South Africa, how it started probably, how it is going, and the way forward. So if you can tell us something about the trade relations between Ghana and South Africa, we'll be very much pleased.
Thank you for inviting me. I think we are on a very sound footing when it comes to trade relations, even though we are not too pleased, because I think the potential for trade between the two countries is huge. But currently it's growing in leaps and bounds, but I think there's more that we can accomplish. I think when we established relations between Ghana and South Africa after the fall of apartheid, already we're excited because, you know, South Africa is a gold mining country, and so is Ghana. But there's also lots of untapped potential for the two countries. You know, we have developed infrastructure, we have advanced information and communication technologies. I think right now what we are working on is to ensure that we increase that trade in line with the decisions that have been taken by the African Union. I think in the area of infrastructure, it's very important that we should develop infrastructure between different African countries so that we can improve intra-Africa trade. The potential is there, is huge, but I think right now it's not fully exploited because of some of the difficulties in moving goods from one to another.
Okay. Now, examples of the big companies which Ghana or have some kind of relations with Ghana, because I know of ELAC, and if we look into the market of Ghana, we could see a lot of South African products. So can you elaborate a little bit about some of the indigenous companies which have some kind of marriage between two countries?
Well, there are a few multinational companies that come from South Africa that are here in Ghana. I could mention MTN, there's Goldfields, there's Anglo Gold Ashanti that have formed partnerships with the South African companies. There's ShopRite Checkers, we have Stanbic Bank. You know, there's quite a few, but like I said, there's room for improvement. You know, there's several banks that have become international in South Africa that have not established offices here yet, like FNB, like Absa Bank. But the good thing is that every time I talk to South African business people who come to Ghana, they have observed that, first of all, Ghana is a very suitable environment for foreign direct investment. There are some from the tourism industry that have come here and have identified potential sites for the establishment of tourism facilities. You know, the potential is there, but it needs to be further exploited.
Yes, so you as the ambassador of Ghana, what are you doing? What steps are you taking to woo some of the investors from here to South Africa and some from South Africa to Ghana as well?
To facilitate establishment of trade links between Ghana and South Africa, we have the Ghana-South Africa Business Chamber that have really been doing a sterling job in terms of making it possible for Ghanaians to access South African markets. Initially, when I came here, many of the South African business people were had established some presence, but I think right now they are at a stage where they are not only here, but are actually putting up infrastructure to make their presence known in Ghana. Like I said, I am not quite pleased with the amount of trade that takes place between our two countries, because what I see is huge potential for both Ghanaians to do business in South Africa and South Africans to do business in. But I'm very optimistic. The number of visa applications, for example, that we are getting really skyrocketed because people are interested in going to explore business opportunities in South Africa. And I have had quite a number of delegations, including just yesterday from the IDC in South Africa, that funds some of the business ventures that South Africa is interested in. So I think that there's great potential, but it needs to be further exploited.
Yeah, so for now, can you mention just a few of the South African products that you can be proud of, which Ghanaians are well patronizing very, very well?
I think right now the greatest product that we have is the wines from South Africa. We have also the Amarula drink. When you go to parties, you'll see plenty of Accra Brewery products, which is the excuse me, like the club beer. It's a South African product. There's quite a number. There's lots of products that are here. Ceres orange or fruit juice. Ceres fruit juice is one of those that we are proud of. But I think, when you talk about the wine industry, South Africa is really beginning to have a foothold in the wine sector here in Accra, in Ghana.
Well, there are a number of fraud cases and others that we've heard about, this gold trade and others between some Ghanaians and South Africans. Do you have any knowledge about them, and how are you addressing such issues?
When it comes to commercial fraud, we depend on South African business people to come to the embassy and report such cases. Unfortunately, sometimes people get involved in shoddy deals, and then, of course, they end up in jail. There are some people that we know of, South Africans, who came here and were defrauded, and because they couldn't pay their hotel bills, they end up in prison. And so we encourage South African business interests to come through the embassy so that when they get into trouble, then we can assist them. But unfortunately, some of them choose not to do so. And like in every country, you'll have those elements that are always, willing and are prepared to take shortcuts, and shortcuts don't always work. But frankly, I must say that there aren't too many of those cases. The cases that we are seeing are cases of, joint partnerships between Ghanaians and South Africans. ELAC, for example, just recently, the parent CEO was here in Ghana. They are doing extremely well. That partnership between ELAC and Sanlam is working very, very well. And I'm glad to say that there's some big companies from Ghana, such as UT Bank. I think they've established businesses in South Africa. So we want more and more of these kinds of partnerships, because I believe they are to the mutual benefit not only of South Africa or Ghana, but to the continent of Africa as a whole.
Well, so in a nutshell, what can you tell us about the crime rate in South Africa now? Because some time back, the crime was very high, especially you go to Johannesburg, you go to Yeoville and others, but I know that Durban I see Durban as my hometown, and that place is very cool in terms of crime rates, the weather, everything. So now, what developments have you put in place to curtail such huge crimes of especially human rights violation and others that can entice more Ghanaians to go there for good business?
Well, I think when you look at the crime statistics, statistics, they've come down considerably, especially after the 2010 FIFA World Cup. The South African security establishment ensured that, our visitors are going to have a good time and that the criminals are put into jail. Just yesterday, our president, Jacob Zuma, was announcing in Parliament that South Africa is doing very, very well in terms of crime prevention. And of course, like in every other country, if you go to those places that are not safe, you are bound to get into trouble. But I must say right now, the number of people coming to South Africa for leisure and the number of businesses across the world who are setting up shop in South Africa is increasing. So we are very optimistic that we are indeed in control, and we are striving for a country that is completely crime-free. But right now, given the number of countries that come or companies that come and set up shop in South Africa, we are optimistic that we are in control of that situation.
Your Excellency Jeanette Ndlovu, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of TV Africa crew to thank you very much for giving us this precious time of yours for this interview. I think if we have any further questions or something, your doors will always be opened to entertain us for such clarifications. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I must say that I'm looking forward to receiving the viewers of your program to our country so that we begin to know each other. So I'm extending an invitation to all your viewers to come to South Africa, to come and see the country before they even start off doing business there. I think it's important that when you want to do business, you must know who you are doing business with. So on that note, I'd like to really extend a warm invitation to you to come and see South Africa. It's different. It was very different.
Oh, we will be very much happy to come. We'll be very much happy to come.
Opening the third store in Busu very soon.
From Netherberg.
Yes.
That is my best wine. That is the best large and the duet.
Yes. I've just discovered.
You know that I brought Amarilla to Ghana?
Did you?
When Mr. Mustard was very, very well.
Doing very well. I hope you're getting some royalties.
And so,
Okay, so you spelled.
oh, yeah, to sign an MOU with them.
Okay, which airline is this?
I've forgotten all the details of them so that in 2 weeks' time I will.
Because last time we had representatives of South African Airlink. This is a smaller carrier that feeds into small areas. Yes. They are very much interested in coming to establish their hub.
So they have.
That's why they're called South African Airlink.
And as I said, because of money, Dr. Prempe took it from me.
Oh, actually, this
someone like TT Brothers.
Yes.
I took him there.
Are you kidding me?
And
he tells me they give him the best.
The best of and the big companies, because now I have a big project. They want to do something like Sun City, a city within a city here. Just around the presidential palace, that place, Kanda.
Okay.
It's 23.
Okay. Okay. Talk. If you have a contact.
So if you can get it from her, I'll be very much like I know.